But I'm not going to talk about the 10 principles. I'll pick one or two of these principles. One of these, apart from what you said about the law of karma and so on, which is very important, what I want to talk about is truth. Because the message of truth changed the whole history of Mauritius. During my own childhood, I've seen the Aryasamaj in Bobasa. I've seen my own father. I've seen those people changing from a period of ignorance, illiteracy, superstitions, towards one of knowledge. Because the Aryasamaj came forward and told us that the most important thing in life is truth. Otherwise we live in ignorance, we live in lies, we listen to propaganda, we listen to gossips, we listen to rumors, and we become victims all the time. Therefore we have to know the truth. But to know the truth, we have to have knowledge. We have to have education. And that's how the Aryasamaj started building his schools, teaching Hindi. And education became a very important factor of change. And if Mauritius has changed from what it was in the past, when you look at our grandparents in the neighborhood here, in the villages, all around Mauritius, the majority of them were illiterate. They were victims. They accepted the authority of the white people, of the pujaris, of the others, who fooled them, who cheated them. So it was only through the light of knowledge, through the light of truth, that society began to change. And this, I think, is fundamental. It was the philosophy of truth that changed a simple man called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi into a Mahatma. And in his biography, autobiography, my experiments with truth, he said that truth is God and God is truth. This is one of the fundamental principles of the Aryasamaj. And where there is truth, there is no superstition. We don't believe in all kinds of delusions, in all kinds of things like ghosts, so many things which our grandparents believed in. And when they believe in these things, they became victims. Well, this is the fundamental thing I have to talk to you about. When we talk about truth, we have to talk about knowledge. And knowledge means education. Where there is knowledge, there is light, there is understanding, and we know what we are doing. These two fundamental principles go together, truth and knowledge. And if you have the right knowledge, so what you say, you asked about is very important. In the past, we believed that our lives were destined by the planets, were destined by others. We had no control of ourselves. But when we know, when we have the confidence in the values as presented, anyway, my paper is available to you, so you can read the ideas. But what I want to tell you is simply this, that it's not meant only for a few people belonging to the Aryasamaj. The Hindu Dharma is based on truth. And what is truth? Truth is universal, applies to all situations in our people. Truth is scientific. That's why the emphasis everywhere is on benevolence. We have to serve others. We have to forget our own particular needs, our own selfish needs, and serve the needs of society, of our family, of the country, of the whole world. This is the fundamental message of the Aryasamaj, the message of service. And this is carried out in 2 words, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We think that the whole world is a family. There should be no caste, there should be no differences. We believe that all mankind is one family. This is a very noble idea. It's a great idea, very, very deep. And on that topic alone, you can talk that Hinduism is a universal religion because it is based on universal principles. One which is truth, I've talked to you about, and the other one is knowledge. And when there is truth, there is knowledge, there is also benevolence, service of others, service of humanity. Mahatma Gandhi put it very simply. He said, all men are brothers. And there should be no when he said all men at that time, it doesn't mean women are not involved in it. Now we know that in modern time we talk about gender equality and things like this. But it was the Aryasamaj who did that. In the past, what happened to the women in Mauritius? You have to ask your parents or grandparents. You will know the conditions of women. But what changed all these things? It was thanks to Samajis like this, thanks to Dr. Bardwaj, thanks to the others. There are legends who went from village to village, from place to place, and they walked and they talked to people, explained to them, and they brought the light of knowledge, the light of Indian philosophy to the people. And this is what changed the whole Mauritius. You can imagine, in 1935, in Mauritius we celebrated the centenary of Indian arrival in Mauritius. At that time, the President Arya said, I am ashamed, I feel ashamed to tell you that Indians are politically very backward. There is no hope whatsoever. That were the conditions of Indians in 1935. And Dr. Ram Ghulam wrote at the same time in his Sons of Immigrants, he said that Indians are looking backward. They're traditional. There's no hope for them unless they adjust themselves to change. But what happened? How did these things change? Why on 23rd February 1936, Indians joined the Labour Party, founded by Dr. Curé Paritsadeo and so on? Because those missionaries had gone from door to door, from village to village, and talked to the people. You have to awaken. You have to get up. You have to understand that you can't depend upon other people. You have to depend upon yourself. You have to have education. You have to educate your children. And then the people began to realize. They began to awaken. That was the great awakening. And that awakening was brought about by the Aryasamaj. And that's why in 1938, when the Labour Party had its first May meeting, there were 35,000 people, Indians from villages all over the country, traveled by all means, by ox carts, by trains, because they had become politically awake and they were following what was taking place in India. There was a light of knowledge and their vision was awakened. They became more open. Before the Aryasamaj came, society was closed. Closed in ignorance, closed in superstition. But Aryasamaj came and broke up all the barriers and made society open, wide. So I want to stop here, because if I have to talk about these things, there's plenty to say. But this, at least, is my message right now. You may forget everything I've said. But the primary thing is, if you live your life according to truth, then you are a real Aryan. Thank you.